Good afternoon, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Today is Sunday, the 8th of October, 2023. It is 2:05 p.m. here in Australia. I hope you're all very well. I hope you've all been blessed. Brothers and sisters, we have arrived at a very sombering and very sobering point in history, and I wanted to come across this afternoon to do a much shorter video to try and pack a bunch of points in to how we are here, brothers and sisters. We are absolutely here. So without further ado, I'm just going to quickly start off with this verse here in Matthew 24, and the gospel of the kingdom of heaven shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. If you go to my brother Steve Fletcher's channel, and you will see his video that he did 2 hours ago. It's called "And Then the End Will Come, Prophecy Fulfilled." This gentleman here, Lauren Cunningham, he passed away on the 6th of October. And this man here, he's been to we can just go down here to the news article. YWAM founder Lauren Cunningham passes away. He has added one more stamp to his well-worn passport, heaven. And he was the first person in history to travel to every sovereign nation on earth, all dependent countries and more than 100 territories and islands for the sake of Christ. Brothers and sisters, this has been fulfilled. The gospel of the kingdom of heaven is preached into the entire world, to all nations, and then the end will come. Okay, the second point I want to make is Luke 21. You see here in Luke 21 verses 20, "And then shall you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then you know that the desolation thereof is nigh." Brothers and sisters, the book of Luke is the book for the church. Matthew is for the Jews, Mark is for the world, and Luke is for the church, and we get a pre-warning. We are now seeing Jerusalem being surrounded by armies, and we're going to know that the desolation, that being the abomination of desolation, is extremely close. And then it is saying, "Let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains." Judea is right on the banks of Gaza, and that this is why they're telling these particular people, the people of Judea, to flee to the mountains. And just like in the time of Christ, before he came in the triumphal entry, riding on the donkey, people who have studied the word of God, and they knew by what Moses had said about the prophecy of the Messiah, they knew to wait there every year around that time, because they knew that the Messiah was going to come in on the colt of a donkey. And so this is why these people had robes and palm trees ready to lay down before Yeshua when he rode in on a donkey. This is why, brothers and sisters, in Amos it says that there is nothing that the Father will do that he won't first reveal to his servants and prophets. We have been watching, we have been waiting patiently on the wall, and we've seen these things coming, and now the time is here, brothers and sisters. So we now see Jerusalem being surrounded by armies, and we're going to know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And we see here, "For these will be the days of vengeance, that all the things that are written may be fulfilled." Okay, it says, "Let them that are in Judea flee to the mountains. Those that are in the midst of it, you must run and leave and get out. And let not one of them that are in the countries enter back into." We can see here, I want you to listen to this. This is two people in Israel who are in their bunkers right now. Listen to this.
And it's just heartbreaking to see all these photos that we are seeing. Families are looking for their beloved ones that went missing, because Hamas had also kidnapped a lot of Israeli civilians, including soldiers, to control over military bases. But India, I also want you to share how you feel. But before that, I just want to say that I think what we saw is exactly, because we talked about it, this is exactly what the world needs to see, that when Hamas infiltrated Israel, they went first to Israeli homes. They went first to Israeli homes, got them out of their houses, people like me and you. And at the end of the day, we Israelis, we're just like you guys who are watching us. We don't want to be sitting here in a bomb shelter. So How did you feel? Because I think it's one of your first experiences, because you made Aliyah, you immigrated from the United States. So do you want to share with us?
Absolutely. I mean, I can speak for myself as an immigrant here in Israel, but I think I can speak for everyone in Israel that we've never seen such a situation like this, with the hostages and just the graphic images that aren't even being able to be shared on the news because they're just so graphic. And the first thing that I thought of when I saw some of these images was the Holocaust. I saw images that I wish I could erase from my brain, images of bodies of Israelis butchered, piled up on each other, things that I thought I would never see today. And I spent a good part of the day just reflecting and just crying out in my heart, but also just crying for all of the families who are searching for their loved ones or have found their loved ones deceased.
Okay, brothers and sisters, I just wanted to give you a short idea of the extremeness of this situation right now. Okay, we also have Revelations 2:10, where we see the devil will throw some of you into prison to be tried and have tribulation for 10 days. We've seen this, brothers and sisters. We were warned on October the 4th when that emergency alert, which woke up the whole world. I did videos on this where I talked about in the year 1582, Pope Gregory stole Father's 10 days. Okay, he removed 10 days from the calendar, changing it from the Gregorian changing it from the Julian calendar into the Gregorian calendar, and Pope Gregory stole 10 days. It went from October 4th to October the 15th. This is the true Jubilee, and therefore Father is getting those 10 days back. And I told you that on October 4th it was going to start the 10 days of those days of tribulation that Revelation 2:10 talks about. And that, and when we read in Matthew 24, when we go here, we can see down here, it says immediately after the tribulation of those days, it's the 10 days that he's talking about here, from October 4th to October 14th. What's going to happen? The sun will be darkened immediately after those 10 days, and the moon will not give her light. That is the solar eclipse that's coming on the 14th of October. Again, if you have a look for a place called Corpus Christi, which is in Texas, USA, directly at midday, brothers and sisters, will be the maximum of this total solar eclipse, where the sun is being dark and the moon won't give her light. And this is in Amos, where we see I'm going to make the sun go down at noon over the whole earth. We can see here in Daniel 11, this is exactly where we are now. And at that time of the end, the king of the south shall push at him, and the king of the north, which is America, shall come against him like a whirlwind. We just see that Biden just announced their full support for Israel, and that they're standing by waiting to help Israel with all their, with all their stuff that they've got. They're going to help Israel. So this is the king of the north is going to come in like a whirlwind with chariots and horsemen and many ships, and he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over. Okay, then he's going to enter into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape of his hand, even Edom, Moab, and the chief children of Ammon. That particular group of people, they are the children of when Lot escaped out of Sodom and Gomorrah. His daughters got pregnant with their father, and these are the children of the chief children of Ammon and Moab. Okay, this is those people. Okay, finally Father is having avenging them, right? Or going to have revenge on them, rather. And then it goes down, and right at the end here, brothers and sisters, notice this is so important. And it says, and he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountains, yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. The very next verse is this, and at that time Michael shall stand up. This is in Revelation 12, okay? Michael the archangel is going to have a war in heaven. This is the same thing. The great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that is found written in the book, that is the Lamb's book of life, okay? Then many of them that are asleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, that's the dead in Christ rising first, and some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. There's your zombie apocalypse, because not only the dead in Christ are going to be risen, the dead wicked shall also be risen. So this is where we are, brothers and sisters. We're right before Michael stands up. We're right before Michael has the war in heaven and fights against the dragon and Satan and casts him and his angels down to this earth. We just see now that the Taliban had asked Iran for passage to join the terror campaign in Israel. So there's a bunch of people that actually asked Iran. This has been planned, brothers and sisters, absolutely been planned. And they all got together and basically Iran gave them passages right into Israel. This is why it was a sneak attack and it came like a snare. I did a video the other day where I talked about how in Revelation 8:1, when it talks about when he opened the seventh seal, there was a silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I told you in the video that the emergency test went for a period of half an hour. And I said this was in relation to heaven. Okay, this was in relation to heaven because every time that you notice there is a period of silence in heaven, it is just prior to judgment. You also see here in Revelation 2:10, fear none of the things which you shall suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I'll give you the crown of life. This is happening literally as we speak right now. The hostages over in Israel, they are being taken. This is going to be a trial, a tribulation for 10 days. And they're saying, be faithful unto death to receive your crown. We see back over here on Luke 21, we're going to see that when you shall see Jerusalem surrounded with armies, and you know the desolation thereof is nigh, then let them that are which in Judea, which is right opposite the Gaza bank there, flee to the mountains. Okay, and then it says here, for these will be the days of vengeance, that all the things which are written may be fulfilled. Brothers and sisters, this is exactly the ending verse of when Yeshua Jesus Christ went into the temple, opened the scrolls and read, he proclaimed the acceptable year of the Lord, and he didn't read the last part of that verse, which was about the days of vengeance. Okay, and this is now being fulfilled because the souls under the altar, they cried to Father and said, how long, O Lord, holy and true, do you not avenge avenge and judge at the blood that's been spilt? And Father said, here, have some white robes, rest a little season, okay, until the number has been fulfilled. These are the days of vengeance, brothers and sisters, that are occurring right now. And then it goes on a little bit further. Woe to them that are with child and them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress on the land and wrath upon the people. You can see they're literally going in, like Hamas and the Taliban and everyone, they're going in, they're actually dragging people out, they're killing them, they're dismembering them, they're putting them up on stakes and displaying them. Okay, now when you read the first book of Maccabees, there's a part in there that talks about that when the people of Israel started coming back and they sided with the Maccabee brothers because Antiochus had come in and taken over Israel. He came in peaceably, by the way. But when these people started coming back to fight with the Maccabees, they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to fight on the Sabbath, and a lot of them got killed. This is exactly what's happened again, because these people, it literally says in First Maccabees that the enemy camped opposite them and waited to attack on the Sabbath. And this is exactly what they've done. They've waited to attack on the Sabbath, not only the Sabbath, but on the great 8th day of Tabernacles, when there's supposed to be joy. because that is when God's presence is tangible. God actually comes and tabernacles with us. So they waited to that day. And then today is today, the 8th of October, is Simchat Torah, and that is when the Torah scroll readings finish for the whole year. The cycle finishes, and that is so amazing that 2 days before that, this man here, Lauren Cunningham, he passed, and he went to every nation on earth to preach the gospel. And you can see here that it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, they shall be led into captivity. That's exactly what's going on right now. They're being taken away by the sword, they're being killed, they're being led into captivity, they're being taken hostages, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. That's 42 months. The time has started, brothers and sisters, okay? There's going to be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the seas and waves roaring. Men's hearts will fail them for fear. They're going to have heart attacks on looking at the things coming upon this earth, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then they shall see the sign of the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. When we go to Matthew 24, we have again the signs of the sun, moon, and stars. We're going to have a solar eclipse, okay? As you can see on the solar eclipse that we're going to have, the sun and the moon will be darkened, just as exactly like it said. And notice that this solar eclipse is in Spica, okay? Spica is the biggest star that we see every evening it comes out. And this is exactly what Father had wrote about in Exodus and in Deuteronomy. He said, remember the month of Abib. This is the month that I took you out of Egypt. Remember the Passover. Remember what I did. I gave you wings like an eagle to fly out of there. Okay, and Father's saying, remember and observe this month always. This is why they changed the name from Abib to Spica, so that we would be confused. And this, brothers and sisters, this was the true original first month. This is the Passover month. Like I've said in all my videos, Father mirrored the calendar. This is why still to this day the Jews have a civil calendar and a religious calendar, because Father mirrors them. So the first month is the 7th month, and the 7th month is the first month. You have to have eyes to see this and ears to hear this, brothers and sisters. So this is effectively our second Passover. Do you hear this, brothers and sisters? This will be our second Passover. And this is why he talks about at midnight that he went out and the death of the firstborns happened. And then at midnight the cry ran out, behold, the bridegroom is coming. Here in Joel 2, you can also see the match of what exactly is going on right now. Blow the trumpet in Zion, okay? It is the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles, the great 8th day. And a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness as the morning spreads across the mountains. This is exactly what happens as the dawn came on the 7th, on the Sabbath of October. A great people strong, like there's never been the likes and never will be more after it, even to the many years of generations. Okay, the appearance of them of horses, and as horsemen so they shall run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of the mountains shall they leap. Okay, before their face the people shall be much pained, and their faces shall gather blackness. This is it, brothers and sisters. This is absolutely it. They shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall run up on the wall, and they shall climb up on the houses, and they shall enter in like the windows like a thief. This is exactly what they're doing right now, brothers and sisters. We are living in the prophecy right before your eyes. Okay, and as I told you, the 10 days of tribulation that the devil's going to cast some of us into prison for, to be tried and to have tribulation for 10 days. The Jubilee, it is the true Jubilee. Father is receiving his 10 days back again that the Pope stole from him. Okay, the enemy stole from him. And now it's coming to play, brothers and sisters, and immediately after the tribulation of those 10 days, From October the 4th to October the 14th shall the sun be darkened, the moon won't give her light, the stars are going to fall from the skies, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. This is it, brothers and sisters. The time is now to tell your families, to tell your friends, to tell your brothers, your sisters, everybody that you know. There's no time to be scared. There's no time to be afraid. You need to let them know and show them what's going on in the world right this second, that Father is coming back. He is sending his Son to come and retrieve his bride, to help her escape all of the things that are coming. The time is now. We need to do this now, brothers and sisters. Okay, now you can show people evidence. You can show them the seriousness of this. It's not just you trying to preach to them or anything like this. You can say this was prophesied in the Word to happen, and this was going to happen right before God's Son would return to get us, to take us out of here. So I'll leave you with that, brothers and sisters. I'll keep it short. I love you. May Father bless you. May He bless you so much. May He give you the courage and strength to warn and speak for Him on these last minutes and hours. All right, brothers and sisters, if I don't see you in the next video, I pray that I will see you all in the skies. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.